In literature, a conceit is an extended metaphor with a complex logic that governs a poetic passage or entire poem. By juxtaposing, usurping and manipulating images and ideas in surprising ways, a conceit invites the reader into a more sophisticated understanding of an object of comparison. Extended conceits in English are part of the poetic idiom of Mannerism, during the late 16th and early 17th century. Metaphysical conceit. In English literature the term is generally associated with the 17th century metaphysical poets, an extension of contemporary usage. The metaphysical conceit differs from an extended analogy in the sense that it does not have a clear-cut relationship between the things being compared. Helen Gardner observed that a conceit is a comparison whose ingenuity is more striking than its justness, and that a comparison becomes a conceit when we are made to concede likeness while being strongly conscious of unlikeness. An example of the latter would be John Donne's A Valediction, forbidding mourning, in which a romantic couple is likened to a compass. The metaphysical conceit is often imaginative, exploring specific parts of an experience. John Donne's The Flea is a poem seemingly about fleas in a bed. When Sir Philip Sidney begins a sonnet with a conventional idiomatic expression "My true love hath my heart and I have his," he takes the metaphor literally and teases out a number of literal possibilities in the exchange of hearts. The result is a fully formed conceit. Petrarchan conceit. The Petrarchan conceit is a form of love poetry wherein a man's love interest is referred to in hyperbole. For instance, the lover is a ship on a stormy sea, and his mistress is either a cloud of dark disdain, or the sun. The paradoxical pain and pleasure of love-sickness is often described using oxymoron, for instance uniting peace and war, burning and freezing, and so forth. But images which were novel in the sonnets of Petrarch became cliché copyright-s in the poetry of later imitators. Romeo uses hackneyed Petrarchan conceits when describing his love for Rosaline as bright smoke, cold fire, sick health. Etymology. In the Renaissance, the term indicated any particularly fanciful expression of wit, and was later used pejoratively of outlandish poetic metaphors. Recent literary critics have used the term to mean simply the style of extended and heightened metaphor common in the Renaissance and particularly in the 17th century, without any particular indication of value. Within this critical sense, the Princeton Encyclopedia makes a distinction between two kinds of conceits, the metaphysical conceit, described above, and the Petrarchan conceit. In the latter, human experiences are described in terms of an outsized metaphor, like the stock comparison of eyes to the sun, which Shakespeare makes light of in his sonnet 130, "My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun." Notes: Stephen Cushman, Claire Kavanagh, Jean Ramizani, Paul Ruza. The Princeton Encyclopedia of Poetry and Poetics, 4th edition. Princeton University Press. Pages 290. ISBN 1-4008-4142-9. Helen Gardner, The Metaphysical Poets, 1961, Introduction p. XXIII. Robert H. Ray. An Andrew Marvell Companion. Taylor and Francis. Pages 106. ISBN 978-0-8240-6248-4. Sir Philip Sidney. My true love hath my heart, and I have his. Love Sonnet from Arcadia. Luminarium.org. Retrieved July 5, 2013. Najat Ismail Sayar Khan. The Teaching Problems of English Poetry in the English Departments. Author House. Pages 58. ISBN 978-1-4969-8399-2. References: Lookoff, George and Mark Turner. More Than Cool Reason, A Field Guide to Poetic Metaphor. Princeton, New Jersey, University of Chicago Press, 1989. Brominger, Alex and T.V.F. Brogan. The New Princeton Encyclopedia of Poetry and Poetics. Princeton, New Jersey, Princeton University Press, 1993. External links: George Herbert, Praise, Shakespeare's Sonnet 130, from Wikisource.